Hey Monarchs, it's Monday. It is gorgeous outside today. It's almost 60 degrees, sun shining, blue skies. What I want to talk to you today about is deck maintenance. So, a lot of us, our houses, we have exterior decks or fences or structures that need maintained, and it's a great spring project to do. Is put a coating on that deck or fence or railing to help protect it. Um, so what I want to do is I want to talk about when and why and what we should use to treat our decks, fences, railings, things like that that are exposed to the elements. Now, this is my kids' playhouse, and I have never stained it before, but that's something I'm going to tackle this year. What I did to prep this, I took the power washer and I power washed everything. And that's one of the first things you need to do if you have an existing structure. If you have a new deck, we'll talk about that in a minute, the when to do that. But I went through and I power washed everything. And what that does, that removes any like mold or mildew that's on the surface of the wood. It also cleans it and gets that stain or whatever sealer you're going to use ready to be applied. Now, if you have a deck that you've never stained before and it has like a blackish look to it or it has a green mold film, you're definitely going to want to power wash that. And also, you may need to get a product. They do make products you can pre-spray before you power wash to help remove that stuff. And sometimes those are a big help. So, after I pressure washed all of this wood, it came really clean, but the only drawback was it's really rough. And this is my kids' playhouse, so they're going to be touching all that stuff. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through with a sander, and I'm going to try to sand as many surfaces as I can before I do this. Now, I'm not going to apply the stain today because, number one, we're looking at rain tomorrow. This product that I bought, it could be applied. It's rain ready within like a day, but I don't want to take any chances. I'm going to wait for a couple really nice days to do this. Now, if you pressure wash your deck, you're probably going to wait a couple days so that completely dries for you before you want to apply the product. Now, if you have a new deck, a lot of people ask when is the best time to apply stain. And really the rule of thumb is what you do. If you take a piece of treated lumber or on your deck, if you put water on it, if that water beads up on the surface of the wood, it's not ready to take the stain. But if that water soaks in, that wood's ready. And this is kind of a fresher piece of treated lumber. This is a railing baluster. And when I pour that water on there, it's just kind of bubbling on the top. It's really not soaking in, so it's not ready. So they generally say the rule of thumb after you build a deck, you should wait about a year until you do an exterior application of a stain. So this playhouse has probably been here for about 4 years, so it's long past due. This should have been done a long time ago. It's just something I've neglected to do. I just haven't had time to get around to it. So let's talk about the products that we can use to stain or treat our decks. And there are a bunch. If you go to the store, it's almost overwhelming how many different things you can buy. Now, it just basically goes on how much money you want to spend. You can spend $25 for a gallon or you can spend $75 for a gallon. You know, I've used a lot of these products over the years. Most of them are pretty good, but the best thing that you can do is just keep up on your maintenance. All right, if you let things get too far out, then you're going to have to do a lot more work to get them, and you don't want to neglect them for too long or you're going to have to actually replace the whole deck. I can't tell you the number of decks over the years that we've had to replace because people don't do the proper maintenance. All right, so let me show you the product that I bought. I was at Lowe's a couple weeks ago, and this is just something that I picked out. This is a Valspar. That's just kind of Lowe's product. It's a semi-transparent, so it's going to get a little bit of color to it. If you're looking for color, stores like Lowe's and Sherwin-Williams and places like that, they can actually tint this stuff to make it a color if you want to match something to your house, which works really well. But this is a 6-year guarantee on decks and fences, 8 in siding. So it guarantees their product for 6 years. I don't know that it'll last that long, but it's definitely better than having nothing. So this might be a product that you decide to buy. There's some products you can spend a lot more money on, but normally this stuff is gonna, if it's in the direct sunlight and stuff, you're gonna have to do this every 2 to 3 years. And it's a good idea to keep up on your maintenance and stuff, because if you don't, you're gonna have to replace it. And this is what this stuff does. It is actually gonna soak into the wood, and it's gonna put a protective barrier on that wood so that the elements are gonna lay on top of it. They're not gonna soak down into the wood. Anytime that moisture is able to soak down into the wood, it'll start the rotting process and it'll start breaking the products down. So you want to make sure and get a good coat of any type of stain or sealer you can, and make sure it's an exterior stain. It says exterior because that's what you want to use. You want to make sure it's for deck, siding, and fences or outdoor furniture. So Monarchs, I hope you're having a good day, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Enjoy the nice weather today, and I'll be back tomorrow.